Day-Age Creationism by Colin Campbell. This video is on the comparison of day-age creationism and six-day creationism. Although they may sound similar, they have major differences. Six-day creationists believe that creation took 6 days. Day-age creationists would agree, but they believe each day was a separate age, not a 24-hour day. In this presentation, we will take time to look at day-age creationists' beliefs on a number of different topics, but also work to disprove all these beliefs. Day-age creationists argue a number of reasons for their beliefs of the day representing ages. One of these comes from the text 2 Peter 3 verse 8, which states, "With the Lord a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day." The biggest problem with this argument, however, is the fact that these people are taking this passage out of context. In this passage, Peter is referring to Jesus' return one day, and how scoffers will second guess his second coming. But Peter is saying that God works outside of our time constraint and will not be slow in fulfilling his plan, simply because we have a limited human perspective. Day-age creationists also defend their view by using the definition of Hebrew words. One example of this is that the Hebrew word yom can mean a 24-hour day, but can also mean an age or a large amount of time. However, the writer of the account of creation only ever used the word yom when referring to a 24-hour day. Let's also take a look at the flood. The day-age creationists do believe that the flood happened, but not to the extent that six-day creationists do. They believe that the flood was not global, but it only seemed like it from the narrator's limited perspective. However, Noah was not the one who wrote the book on the flood. Moses was. He wrote the book about the flood, and he received what to write from God, and God is all-knowing. So where we use the flood as an explanation for the Cambrian explosion, they say it was just a particular day, or age, of creation. Let's also talk about the age of the earth. In regards to this day-age creationists slightly combine the ideas of evolution and creationism. They still believe God created the world, but they believe that the earth is billions of years old, which agrees with the evolution estimation. Six-day creationists, however, believe that the earth is roughly 6,000 years old, using the Bible to roughly calculate the 4,000 years before Christ and adding a little over 2,000 years for the time after. Day-age creationists use the sun as an example to prove the Bible does not make sense. In regard to this, they argue that it does not make sense for there to be literal days if the sun was not created until the fourth day. However, what they are leaving out is the fact that the very first thing God did was say, "And let there be light," and there was evening and there was morning the first day. On top of this, their belief that the earth is billions of years old completely undermines the foundation of the Bible. Day-age creationists believe in macroevolution, but that it is controlled and directed by God. Based on the theory of this, evolution things need to die while the stronger and better developed and remained. In order for their evolution to take place, there would have had to be suffering, disease, and death before Adam, and God's creation would not have been seen as good and complete. However, the Bible clearly states that suffering, disease, and death came into the world due to the fall into sin, which took place after creation was complete. Finally, When studying the earth, we realize that everything in the world has to work together, and everything functions together. But if parts of the world were created billions of years apart, then how would the earth function? For example, if plants were created on day 3 and animals were on day 5, then how did flowers and other plants survive billions of years without bees and other animals to pollinate them? Overall, we believe our God is all powerful, can do anything, and have faith He created the world in 6 24-hour days. We have faith in Him and His Word.